Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. JUTC drivers withdraw service. A slap in the face, PNP woman reacts to readmission of George Wright to the JLP. And later in sports, Paul Davis appointed new head coach of Mobay United. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Simpson. Here are the details. Scores of commuters were left stranded for hours in St. Catherine and the corporate area after drivers at Rockfort, Portmore and Spanish Town depots withdrew their service today. Company JUTC has described as unnecessary industrial action taken by drivers at Rockfort, Portmore and Spanish Town depots. The strike follows an incident over the weekend in which a female driver was allegedly physically assaulted by a franchise protection inspector after an anomaly was discovered with a ticket. TVJ News understands that an altercation reportedly developed between the women which turned into a fight. It's further understood that the husband of the franchise protection inspector, who is also an employee, got involved. The JUTC, while acknowledging the concerns, has condemned the withdrawal of service, noting that the matter is being handled with due process. The state-owned bus company added that the franchise protection inspectors have been temporarily reassigned. The company says it has engaged the University and Allied Workers Union and the Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees Bargaining Group, which represent the driver and the franchise protection inspectors, to reach a resolution. The JUTC is urging the drivers to resume their duties and allow the process to unfold in a just and fair manner. The People's National Party is blasting the Jamaica Labour Party for reinstating Central Westmoreland Member of Parliament George Wright as a member of the party. The embattled MP resigned from the party in 2021 after a video of a man physically assaulting a woman was widely circulated on social media. On Sunday evening, the JLP issued a statement announcing that Wright's application to rejoin the party was approved after several corrective measures were taken. However, speaking at a press conference today, the PNP's women movement stressed that Wright being readmitted to the JLP is a slap in the face of many Jamaicans, especially women.
By the Jamaica Labour Party that politics matters more than justice and morality. It is a betrayal of every woman who has suffered in silence, to every survivor who was told that their pain doesn't matter.
President of the PNP's women movement, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, described the matter as a dark day in Jamaica's history. She indicated that Wright has not accepted or denied that he was the man seen in the video, so it is not clear what kind of mitigating factors could have led to his readmission to the JLP.
And it needs to be more than just telling. He needs to show and to clearly say that this act is not a good act, it's a wrong act. And that there is something that he has done to get counseling, and that will change it.
To news now from the political scene. Members of the JLP are defending the government's handling of the economy as well as its approach to making Portmore Jamaica's 15th parish. The details from Dwayne Anderson. Green in political support and green in age. Youth supporters and aspiring leaders of JLP gathered in Western Kingston to add their voice to the discussion around the direction the country is headed.
When you talk about zinc fence removal, look all over the constituency. Who knew West Kingston back then? We full of shock and tack and zinc fence. But today, because of this administration and the implementation of taking down zinc fence, we have spent over some $70 million over the past 5 years. And when you talk about the brainchild of the Prime Minister, we're talking about social housing. When you look across West Kingston, houses going up left, right and center. So PMP people come chat to it.
In keeping with the youth theme, JLP Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie then addressed matters relating to Portmore, which is set to become Jamaica's youngest parish. He warned the PNP to be careful what they wish for in determining Portmore's status.
This mischief that you're making over Portmore, you're disrupting the activities of the municipality in St. Catherine to come to talk about you want referendum. PNP can't open them out and talk about referendum. Because the last time they called for a referendum, they know what the results were. But what I'm saying is that the government is not going to be distracted.
The economy has also been the subject of local and international discussion in the past few days amid fears of a recession. And while not addressing recession specifically, the Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon sought to contextualize the performance of the JLP administration in terms of its handling of the economy.
I was looking at inflation at that time in September 1998 when I went to UWI. It was 6.2%. Today, even in September 2024, even with Raphael and all of the damage Raphael did to our agricultural sector and pushing prices up, we were at 2.8% inflation in 2024. We have to acknowledge the difference between then and now, and we've done a lot. The Jamaica Labour Party has done a lot.
That report from Kerry Simpson and not Dwayne Anderson as previously reported. Now over to the other side of the political divide, the PNP is rallying its base ahead of the election with focus on Eastern Portland. Now, as you'll hear in this report, road infrastructure is among the areas the party says it will do better at should it take over from the JLP.
We are going to mash down that line, we are going to block every bars. And we're going to make you know, say, listen, Portland is for the Portland people. It is not Bars land. Right.
The PNP's candidate for Eastern Portland, Isaac Buchanan, rallying his supporters. He told the PNP faithful he is confident of a win when the next general election is called. Therefore, he does not want them to worry.
We have the win. All right, I'm over here to say we have the win. Again, we have the win. All right, so listen, I could talk and talk, but them say actions speak louder than words. And the real action will come from the Buchanan. So we broke the bars and run with action.
The candidate was speaking in Mansion Hill in the parish shortly after a tour of the constituency involving PNP Vice President Michael Phillips. They are aiming to shore up support in the seat represented by the JLP's Anne-Marie Vaz.
I'm on a mission. The PNP is on a mission. My mission is to come and give candidates like Governor Buchanan the support. It's to give the PNP support. It's to give Jamaica the support. Because the trumpet has sounded.
Mr. Phillips, who is also the opposition spokesman on Works, took the government to task over the roadway linking Harbourview to Portland via St. Thomas.
There needs to be an inquiry on the Southern Coastal Highway project. Yes. The section from Harbourview to Moran Bay has to be dug up because of bad work. The section from Moran Bay to Port Antonio is incomplete after 3 years and going longer. And what I see happening here on the roadway, 2 Chinese and probably 6 Jamaicans cannot complete this roadway in the time frame that it should be.
The road rehabilitation project has been plagued by issues for months. Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
The tit-for-tat between the government and opposition continues over the handling of the country's economy. Government Senator Delano Sivright is taking issue with a proposal by the opposition for the imposition of taxes to bridge the gap where there are financial shortfalls. Addressing a Young Jamaica meeting in Westmoreland, he accused the PNP of prioritizing tax hikes over innovative economic policies.
No clear plan for the growth and development of this country. what their plan is to tax this, tax that, raise money, and so raise money is a chaka kind of leadership that we must reject. And Andrew Wallace has shown us, each and every Jamaican, that he has brought level-headedness, stability, and focus to governing the affairs of our country.
The National Water Commission, NWC, is promising relief for Cocoa District in St. Elizabeth amid decade-long water woes. Residents have been complaining about chronic water shortage in their community and called on the NWC to take immediate action.
For years, residents of Cocoa District in St. Elizabeth have been deprived of a basic necessity, access to clean drinking water. This issue is not unique to the area, as the parish is known to be vulnerable to drought. But the residents say they're at their wits' end.
Them galvanized pipe not working. Them have to get plastic pipe for over how much a year, then the pipe have to take up back. And nobody now use galvanized pipe again. Yeah. So how does water go in this tank? Yeah, them they say that way, that's when the water pump.
When rainfall?
We are getting off a rainfall now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we catch water, we fill it up. And people use it like a flush toilet and anything.
They feel neglected and overlooked, as the lack of water not only affects their health and well-being, but it comes with a significant financial burden.
A 40 year old, a 48-year-old maybe now. And we don't know. One time I see water on our pipeline. Tell now, I buy every day, every other week, it costs $3,000 in a general. And more too. One truck might take $15,000 to full 2 tanks. So how we go? I don't even know how to vote. We are what? A bush living. I don't know how help for we are helping. So what we put in a poor for
The community is calling for immediate intervention from the authorities to address this critical issue.
We don't know no MP. They come here. Where they come? I'm going to see. Come with video me now. Are you? Alone, Messi. No, nobody. I'm going to you. That's even your name.
So you make an appeal?
Yeah, we want some justice and help. We want help with the water system. Help, we want water with problem.
When contacted, Acting Corporate Communications Manager at the NWC, Delano Williams, says the agency recognizes the decade-long water supply challenges in Cocoa District caused by source and equipment issues. Mr. Williams says the NWC has initiated critical projects since 2024, focusing on source, storage, and pipeline infrastructure. So far, a network loss assessment audit has been done. The Barton Station pump has been rehabilitated and new valves installed. He further revealed that 400 meters of pipeline is left to be installed, as well as pumping equipment. The cocoa storage tank will also be rehabilitated. The NWC is hoping that the work will be completed by May 31, 2025. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Time now for a break. Stay with us. More local stories when we return. Welcome back. We are continuing the news. There's an urgent appeal for the traffic light at Coke Drive and Main Street in Santa Cruz to be fixed. The stop sign has been out of operation for the past 3 weeks. According to police and motorists to traverse the area, the traffic light being out makes it hard for motorists to negotiate in peak hours.
Yeah, especially when you come early morning and in the evening. Really tough, man. You want to start out, man. Yeah, man, you want people on the main street don't want to stop any of that. Well, nobody will come, everybody has to have the right away, you know, so man, if you just look out and
yeah, the people on the main street 10 to 1, all of them want to go through and not paying the people on the minor side of the road giving them any way.
Sub-officer in charge of traffic for the parish, Sergeant Albert Simpson, says since the traffic light has been out, there have been a number of accidents at the intersection.
So we are appealing to the relevant authorities to see if they can have this remedy as quickly as possible.
Because when things like this happen, how does it pressure the police?
The police would have to spend most of their time there directing traffic to ensure that we have a free flow of traffic when our resources could be centered elsewhere.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Revenue at Trans-Jamaica Highway for the fourth quarter of 2024 increased by 13% to US $22.4 million, driven by higher traffic and toll tariff adjustments. Now, annual revenue for 2024 grew by 10% to US $82.8 million. Other gains for the quarter were $0.77 million US dollars, down from US $0.94 million in 2023, while total other gains for the year rose to $3.9 million US dollars due to higher interest earnings. Operating expenses in the fourth quarter decreased by US $1.5 million to US $4.4 million, attributed to changes in amortization and lower maintenance costs. For the full year, operating expenses decreased by US $1.4 million to US $21 million despite higher insurance and professional fees. Further afield, Southwest Airlines announced Monday it will cut 15% of its corporate workforce, more than 1,700 people. This is the first mass layoff of the company's history. The cuts are expected to start in April and will include senior leadership. 11 senior executives, including some vice presidents, will be let go. Now, Southwest says it expects the layoffs will save the company $210 million this year and $300 million next year. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Bermudans are casting their ballots for a new government today, with the two main political parties confident of winning the election that Premier David Byrd called 10 months ahead of the constitutional deadline. There are 109 candidates contesting the elections. In the 2020 snap elections, the Progressive Labour Party (PLP) won 30 of the 36 seats, with the remainder going to the main opposition One Bermuda Alliance (OBA). On the international scene, the U.S. State Department says the U.S. and Russia will appoint teams to negotiate ending the Ukraine war following high-level talks in Saudi Arabia. The 4-hour meeting has been described as positive and constructive. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. However, neither Ukraine nor Europe were invited. The Kremlin says Vladimir Putin is prepared to speak with Volodymyr Zelensky if necessary. And no deaths have been reported after a plane landing in Toronto from the U.S. skidded along the runway and flipped over with flames visible for a brief time. It is not clear what caused the incident. However, analysts are suggesting that the weather may have played a role or that the aircraft struck something. An investigation is underway. All 80 people on board survived. There were 18 injuries, of which only a small number are thought to be serious. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Kelisha Williams.
Thank you, Kelisha. We now head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.